This mission is similar to Back Up, Back Down in the sense that you have a bunch of vehicles to kill, only this time it's in Africa. So it is at least a new implementation of an old idea, which is kind of odd. I guess it's one of the last really finished missions that they did, because it feels a lot less fillery than the ones that came before it. And it's a completely new, implementation. Even if the idea is one that they've used before, they haven't done it in a long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to start near the place that we actually need to be, where basically all 5 of the vehicles that we're talking about will be making a kind of a passage through here. This is kind of a crossroads, which is perfect for our needs, except that it's full of guards. So we're going to have to deal with that. There aren't that many, though, because it is a guard post, so there's 6 or so guards, I think, maybe 7. That guy's a sniper, though. But, for whatever reason, he's not looking at me. Also, the caution alert doesn't matter. First of all, it'll go away once we clear these guys out. Second, it doesn't seem to apply to the vehicles anyway. They don't seem to care. Now, I just need to get these guys out of sight, because if a ground vehicle sees an unconscious guy, they will honk their horn and wake them up. So I want to avoid that, so I'll just take them out of line of sight and hold them all up. That will also prevent them from waking, as long as I don't get engaged by a vehicle, which hopefully won't happen. I'm also going to be setting up some of these kills. I put 1 mine down on the road when I started, and I'm putting 4 mines down here. The reason why I'm doing that is that the vehicles that come from the direction on my right are normal vehicles. There will be a regular APC and a regular tank, so 1 mine is sufficient to destroy a regular APC. However, the vehicles that come from the other direction are all black vehicles, which have higher defense, so it's going to take 4 mines to take out the black tank, I think, is the first thing that comes through. It takes quite a lot of firepower to destroy one of those, and I want to make sure that they all destroy themselves without me needing to really get involved. After I destroy the first 3 vehicles, there will be a black APC that comes from the same direction of the tank, as well as a helicopter, which I think it's a black helicopter, I can't remember. So the helicopter is, of course, the twist here, because in Back Up, Back Down there was a helicopter, but it only appeared at the end of the mission, and you weren't actually required to destroy it. It was just an optional objective. I'm also touching the intel file here, even though I don't need it for any reason. I already know their route, it's through here. Anyway, I also need to set up the regular tank. So that 1 mine will take out the APC, but then I need about 4 explosives worth here. I'm going to use some C4 to save on one of the mines. That'll take out the regular tank. I'm also picking up some of these launchers. It's kind of luck whether any launchers generate, but 2 missiles should be enough if I need them. It will turn out that I don't, but if I do, I guess I get lucky here in having some backup. Okay, so I've thrown everybody in either a dumpster or a porta potty or whatever. I'm going to speed things up from here as we just kind of wait for the vehicles to arrive. First one to arrive is that tank. The mines will destroy it. Second is the APC in the other tank. The APC should hit a mine in just a little bit, and it'll swerve off the road. This is pretty consistent. Every time it gets hit, it swerves off the road, so it never seems to run into the other trap. I did set them kind of far apart, though, just to be sure. Okay, that takes care of that. Now we need to set quite a lot of explosives, about 4, and then I'm setting some here. I'll explain that in a bit, because that's the wrong place, but you'll see. Okay, so we've got the helicopter and the black APC. The helicopter starts farther out, but of course, since it's a helicopter, it does get faster. However, once the APC blows up, the helicopter will kind of notice it and it'll go into kind of a cautionary phase where it's circling. That's what a helicopter does when it's like trying to look for you. But if it fails to do so, it will eventually go back to its pattern. And what's important here is what the pattern of the helicopter is, which is, for whatever reason, the helicopter will briefly touch down, not where I put the C4, but it'll touch down right over there. So I'm going to stop speeding this up here and show that you don't actually need missiles for this. If I can get over the rock. Okay, so it'll touch down briefly just right there near that field. I don't know why it does this, but I've tried hitting it with a mortar. It doesn't seem to work. Mortar shells just kind of go through helicopters. However, there is a way to damage it without needing to shoot rockets at it. Now, if you wait for it to leave this area, it will do the same thing at the heliport, or the airport. It'll touch down near the runway, and it'll just kind of be hovering slightly over it. So this plan can work with that as well. So we'll plant the C4 and then we'll roll away because we want to make sure we blow this thing up from a safe distance, but we also want to make sure we do it quickly so that it doesn't have time to take off. And there you go. You can CQC a helicopter. If it's dumb enough to land. D-Horse also gets spooked there, but I managed to jump on him before he runs away. And that's it. You can do everything from that one little guard post. As long as you've got enough explosives, which, strangely enough, we can just barely afford.
Mission complete, boss. Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss. The one and only.